Your Crohn's is finally stable, your Biologic is working beautifully, and then the insurance letter arrives. Request denied. Today I'm walking you through exactly what to do next because staying in remission shouldn't require a law degree. Hi, I'm Kate, and today we're talking about what to do when insurance denies your Biologic refill even though you're doing well on it. This is happening more and more. Insurance company using your stability as a reason to question whether you still need the medication that's keeping you stable. It's actually backwards logic, and we're going to fix it. I've been on both sides of this nightmare. As a natural therapist, I've helped other clients gather documentation and craft appeal letters. As a mum, I've sat at my kitchen table with my son, reading denial letters that made absolutely no sense. You're in remission because of the medication, and now they want to take it away? My husband went through this twice. Once they denied his refill because his inflammatory markers were too low. Like that wasn't the entire point. We appealed, we won, but it took 6 weeks of stress and 3 levels of appeals before common sense prevailed. The worst part? Most people don't realize that initial denial letters are often just the first move in negotiation. Insurance companies count on you giving up. They're betting you won't appeal, but you absolutely can, and you definitely should. Here's what's actually happening. Insurance companies, they have algorithms that flag stable people. The computer sees normal inflammatory markers, sees you're not hospitalized, and kicks out a denial. It doesn't understand that you're stable because of the Biologic, not despite it. The other thing people get wrong, they think their doctor will handle it. And yes, your GI's office will usually submit the initial prior authorization, but when it gets denied, you need to be the quarterback of your own appeal. Your doctor's office is managing hundreds of patients. You're managing one case that happens to be your life. This isn't about fighting your medical team. This is about understanding that insurance appeals are part administrative process, part paper trail, and part knowing exactly what language makes insurance companies say yes. You can learn it. You don't need to be a lawyer or a medical expert. You just need to be organized and persistent. And here's the thing. This actually keeps me up at night. I see people ration their Biologics, skip doses, or switch to cheaper medications they've never tried just because they don't know how to fight a denial. We're not going to do that. We're getting you what's already working. All right, here's your step-by-step advocacy framework. I'm going to walk you through this like I'd walk my own son through it, because I have. All right, the first part is to understand the timeline. And don't panic. The moment you get that denial letter, you have rights and you have time. Most insurance companies give you 180 days to file an appeal, but don't wait that long. You want to file within 30 days of that denial date. Here's what you do immediately. You call your GI's office that same day you get the letter. Tell them you've received a denial and ask if they've already started an appeal. And sometimes they have. Sometimes they haven't. Either way, you're going to run your own parallel process. Then call the insurance company. Yes, actually call them. Ask for the specific reason code for the denial and ask them to mail or email you the full denial letter with clinical rationale. Sometimes the letter you got is just a summary. You want the detailed version. Now then, you must request the right documentation from your GI. This is where people lose time, going back and forth getting the wrong paperwork. Here's exactly what you need from your doctor's office, and you can request all of it in one email or phone call. You need a letter of medical necessity. This is a formal document from your GI explaining why the specific Biologic is medical necessary for your specific case. It should include diagnosis, how long you've been on the medication, your response to it, previous treatment you've tried, and why stopping it would be detrimental. 2, you need recent test results, inflammatory markers, scopes, imaging, anything from the last 6 to 12 months that shows you're stable. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but stable results are your evidence that the medication is working. 3. Your treatment history. A timeline showing what you've tried before this biologic, what failed, what caused side effects. This establishes that you've already done the step therapy dance, and this is what works. When my husband's refill was denied, his GI wrote a letter that said, patient has failed infliximab, failed this, failed that, and achieved remission only with this. Discontinuation will result in disease flare and likely require hospitalization. That specific language, only with and will result in, that's what works. Now, next step is to write your appeal letter. You're going to write your own letter to accompany your doctor's documentation. It isn't emotional, it isn't venting, it's strategic. Start with your insurance ID number, the date of denial, and the medication name. In your first paragraphs, I am writing to appeal the denial of my prescription for blah, blah, blah. I have been stable on this medication for time period, and discontinuation poses serious health risks. In your second paragraph, you talk about your history. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in, give the year. I have tried and failed, list everything. I began the current biologic on this date and achieved remission within, give the timeline. In your third paragraph, current status and risk. My most recent colonoscopy showed, give the results. My inflammatory markers are, list your results. These results demonstrate that the medication is effective and medically necessary to maintain remission. Discontinuing this treatment would likely result in a flare, potential hospitalization, and significantly higher cost to the insurance company. The last bit about costs. Insurance companies pay attention to that. A biologic costs money, yes, but hospitalization and surgeries, well, they cost a lot more. The next paragraph, I respectfully request that you reverse this denial and approve continued coverage for list of medication name. I have enclosed supporting documentation from my gastroenterologist. Sign it, date it, and keep a copy. Next, submit everything correctly. This matters more than people realize. You need to create a paper trail that's impossible to ignore. Send your appeal packet via certified mail with a return receipt. Yes, it's old school. You want proof they received it. Include your appeal letter, your doctor's letter of medical necessity, your test results, your treatment history, and a copy of the original denial letter. Also, submit the same packet through your insurance company's online portal if they have one. Upload everything as PDFs, take screenshots showing you submitted it, email a copy to your GI's office so they have it on file too. When my son went through this, we did both, mailed and uploaded. The online portal showed received within 24 hours, but the certified mail gave us legal proof. Step 5. Follow up like your health depends on it, because it absolutely does. Don't just submit and wait. Call the insurance company 1 week after you've confirmed they received your appeal. Ask for the status. Ask for the name of the person reviewing it, and ask when you can expect a decision. Be pleasant, but persistent. You're not being difficult, you're being an engaged patient managing a serious medical condition. If they deny your first appeal, you have a second level of appeal. Most insurance companies have an internal review process, then an external review. The external review is usually done by an independent medical professional, and honestly, that's where a lot of people win, because actual doctors look at it and say, of course this person needs to stay on this medication. Also, contact your state's insurance commissioner office. Every state has one. They can't force your insurance to approve, but they can investigate whether the denial was handled properly. Sometimes just filing a complaint there gets things moving. And next, know your backup options while you wait. Appeals take time, usually 30 to 60 days, and you need a bridge plan. Call the pharmaceutical company that makes your Biologic. Most have patient assistant programs or bridge programs specifically for people dealing with insurance issues. They might give you free medication for a few months while your appeal goes through. Ask your GI's office if they have any samples. Biologics aren't typically sampled like other medications, but infusion centres sometimes have programs. Check if your state has a prescription assistance program, and because some do. And if you're getting close to missing a dose, tell your doctor. They might be able to adjust your dosing schedule slightly to buy you time, or they might have other solutions that you haven't thought of. Here's what you end up if you follow this plan. You're not sitting helpless waiting for an insurance company to decide your fate. You're actively advocating for yourself with documentation, deadlines, and strategy. My husband's second denial took 3 appeals, but we won. My sons took 1 appeal and a call to the state insurance commissioner. Both times they stayed on the medication without missing a dose because we had backup plans in place. You being in remission is not a reason to stop the medication that got you there. That's like saying you don't need your parachute anymore because you've landed safely. You're still in the plane. The insurance company is counting on you giving up, so don't give them that win. If this helped, share it with someone who's dealing with this right now, because I guarantee you're not the only one. If you want help crafting your specific appeal letter or you need support navigating this, that's exactly what we do in the Crohn's Method community. Real guidance for real situations like this. I'll see you in the next video and have a beautiful day.